Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna go over the season 9 leaks. I've had some time to sit and really think about it. I kind of like looked over a little bit of it, and I want to say like I don't 100% like think it's the truth. I think there's some peppered in like truth in there of like what's actually gonna happen. Um, but I will go over it, and you can come up with your own conclusion yourself. But honestly, so go ahead and grab your energy drink. I'm using Ghost Energy Drink. It's one of my favorite. Um, Not sponsored. Maybe one day. Shout out to you, Ghost. Please sponsor me. All right. So let's get into this. So right now, this is on Esports Illustrated. Um, they kind of did a pretty good put together of notes, and it seems to be like one of the better ones I've seen. Not best, but better. But I just like the way it did everything. So two former Overwatch League pro players shared alleged Overwatch 2 Season 9 patch notes ahead of schedule. While Blizzard has not confirmed the patch notes, is is not it's not all too shocking to believe that they're legit since pros have access to PTR servers. So yeah, lot of like pro players, especially with the OWCS coming out, have gotten ahead of schedule stuff to kind of get practice going for everything. Which is kind of weird that season 9 is kind of like I believe if I remember right with the Overwatch WCS schedule, it's kind of like conflicting between 8 and 9. So it kind of really puts a true grit to how people adapt, especially with the Overwatch pro scene, and we'll see how it goes. So RuPaul Zaman, or just known as RuPaul, and Alex Seeker Taylor took to Twitch to spill the possible Season 9 patch update, and here's what they found. So global projectile size means like anything considered a projectile generally has gone larger. So we're talking like Farah rockets, maybe soldiers rockets as well. I wonder if Sims like little right clicks are going to be bigger too. We'll see. Most damage dealing projectile sizes have increased, allowing heroes to hit targets more easily. Hit scans with a high spread and fire rate, such as Soldier 76 Pulse Rifle, have been increased by 0.05. Average hit scan weapons and abilities, such as Cassie's Peacemaker, have been increased by 0.8. Travel time projectile weapons that are shotguns, such as Roadhog Scrap Gun, or have a higher fire rate, such as Ramacha's Void Acceleration, have been increased by 0.05. That's the second time his staff has been buffed for like projectile size. That's pretty interesting. Travel time projectiles that travel slower than 50 meters per second, such as Pharaoh's rocket launcher, are increased by 0.15. And then travel time projectiles that travel 50 meters per second or faster, such as Hanzo's Stormbow, are increased by 0.1. So it kind of seems like what they're doing is they're lowering they're bringing up the skill floor, basically making it easier for people to hit shots. I know a lot of like higher end players, like the GMs and everything, but you know we're a gold gang, um, and I think that's better for the metal ranks, like myself, and it puts a little bit more emphasis if you want to climb to put more knowledge of the game into everything. I think it's fantastic. It gives the metal ranks a little bit opportunity. I also think it might spread out because if you look at like there's bronze, there's silver, and then you just climb up to the gold, and then you go to plat down a little bit here, and then you have this giant bell curve. Now, what I think this will do will flatten that bell curve a little bit out, so that there's not as much of a hump into the gold area. So Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Other hero updates and abilities. Anna's Sleep Dart, Briggs Whip Shot, Arissa's Energy Javelin, Reinhardt's Fire Strike, Roadhog's Chain Hook, Sigma's Creation, and Sombra's Virus. Other abilities such as melee energy beams are adjusted either hitbox. I think I read somewhere else that these abilities are not actually affected. Um, so that I've seen like I want to say like 10 different sources, and it these patch notes have been everywhere. It's kind of like if you ever played that game when you were a kid in school, you have that oh, what was it? That game Telephone, where one person tells one thing, another person tells another thing, and by the time it gets to like the 10th or 20th person, um, it's like completely different from what the first person said. So, so that's why again I say take things with what you see on these leaks with a grain of salt. Health pool update: the total hero health pool for all heroes, including health, armor, shields, are all increased from 15 to 20%. Um, I think it will slow down the TTK or time to kill, um, which is I think it's not too bad. It's pretty cool. I think because I feel like right now everyone's just either dying too fast, um, or I know Overwatch is fast paced, but I feel like the like killing is just way too fast. Now you might have to readjust for certain acknowledgments of like, okay, I can kill if I'm a tracer and if I hit every headshot, I can perfectly kill a Zenyatta. You might not one clip a Zenyatta with all headshots, so you might have to add in two melees or something. We'll see. We have Pilot Diva health increase from 150 to 175. Mech Diva armor increased from 300 to 75, which would make Baby Diva do a little bit more, have a little more health, so more options to remech, I guess. Maybe not. Honestly, it's still pretty low. Um, More 75 armor increase, so she gets a little bit more damage reduction, a little more survivability. Malga health increase from 300 to 400. Um, sure. As long as it's health, like he doesn't need more armor. Um, actually, maybe he actually does. I'm I think Malga, like I see him once in a while, like he still dies pretty darn fast. So his mechanics just it almost feels like a life weaver kind of thing now. It's just like they don't know what to do with him, so they like giga buff him, they nerf him, they're everywhere with him. Um, Arista armor increased from 275 to 350. Um, honestly, I don't think she. I think it should have been just health. Arissa is already a freaking wall with her cooldowns. Like if you rotate your cooldowns with her well enough, um, honestly, she doesn't really die until she's like the last person. Most of the time, we just ignore her, kill the rest of the team, and then kill her. Whatever. Um, Ramacher health increased from 200 to 275. Fine with that. I think Ramach is doing fairly well. He's been pretty meta right now, from what I've seen. I've seen a lot of Junker Queen too. Reinhardt health increased from 200 to 250, and armor increased from 250 to 275. Reinhardt needs a lot of. Honestly, he needs the biggest rework. If anyone needs a rework, I think it is Reinhardt. I think he's still more designed for a 6v6 rather than 5v5, giving him a little bit of increase in shield, a little bit of health, and adding two fire strikes is not going to make him more optimal for 5v5. Just saying. Roadhog health increased from 550 to 650. Fine with that because they did nerf the amount of healing that his take a breather does. So it's gives them a little bit more survivability to kind of counteract that, I guess. Sigma shields increased from 200 to 275. In the metal ranks, most people just kind of like waste their shields. To be honest, when you watch someone like Flats or like someone like Flats, for example, that play if when he plays Sigma, or a lot of other high rank people play Sigma, they know how to rotate the shield up really well to optimize the shield health. So I think in metal ranks it'll help out a lot more. Winston health increased from 200 to 25, and armor increased from 200 to 250. I'm okay with this. Like in pro play, Winston saw a lot more opportunities because with coordination and dive and everything, I think he was amazing. But when you're playing competitive and you don't have like a whole team to help coordinate everything really well, and when most people are not in team chat, I just don't see it. But I definitely think he needs a little bit more help. Wrecking Ball armor increased from 100 to 175. I think he needs a little bit more love. He's also one of those people that, or I guess not people, the hamster and the ball. That definitely needs a rework as well. I think Wrecking Ball is a fun character to play. I think he just feels very out of place. And like there are some amazing ball players. Like if you watch like Boger, play like, oh my god, it's like amazing. There are a lot of players who are great with certain heroes and can just dominate with them. But is it the most optimal tank? Not really. But we'll see. Then we got damage changes. Oh, okay, so it was all tanks. Okay. Ash 200, 250. I guess this might give her a little more survivability. Bastion health increase. Yeah. So a lot of these changes will. Yeah. Oh, so Sim got more shields. The rest of them are just more health increases. Some of them that stand out a little bit more to me. May makes her a little bit more tankier. I don't think she needs the health increase. Maybe to 250 if they were to buff it. But I don't think a lot of them need the health increases. But it makes it a little bit more difficult for snipers in general. If you wanted to try to snipe somebody, the health pool's increasing, make it harder to one-shot people. Honestly, I think for someone like Widow, I would like one-shot Roadhogs were there's a big fence controversy of everything on that, but I think if you're a really good Widow and you can headshot people a lot, I think that should be rewarded. Like I'm fine with a Widow one-shot. Like congrats. Like it's yeah, I've been on the end of a Widow snipe fest and it sucks, but it's rewarding them for being a great player. Having these health increases hurts a lot. I like to also double on the Widow every once in a while. I'm really terrible with it, but yeah. Support changes. With that passive, like I don't think they need the health increases. Like it makes Zen a little bit less glass cannon. Makes him like he's going from like sugar glass to like fiberglass. Like I don't know. I'm not so much sold on the health increases for a lot of characters, to be honest. So all heroes now regenerate 20 health points per second after 5 seconds of not taking damage. Now that was a big controversy. Aaron alluded to. So it's very annoying for some heroes. It's mostly the flanking heroes, for example. It'll be very brutal for. And Yeah, like Sombra, Tracer, like Sombra's gonna abuse the hell out of this. Or if you're a Reaper flanking around and you can teleport away after getting a kill, like, and you're gonna just regen really fast. All hero ultimate costs are increased by 10%. So more brawl, less ult. It's pretty much what it is. Um, some characters I would say that I think they build their ult too fast. And then some of them is like it feels too slow. So like I feel like they needed to actually just reevaluate. If they're gonna increase all for all by 10%, maybe just relook at some of the other heroes, um, to like change their alt economy. I think Rampage, for example, needs to be built a little bit faster, from Junker Queen. Um, Maybe at a higher rank it's completely different, but at these metal ranks, I don't see it happening too often. Um, Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Again, this is at a gold, plat, silver perspective. Um, so again, let me know. Diva self destruct. Outer radius maximum damage increase from 900 to 1,000. Crush radius range increase from 4 to 6 meters. Okay, so um, so yeah, if you're farther distance, um, you're still probably gonna die. You have to be really far away um, from there. And then the crush radius, when she hits the watch and brings back down the mech, increases the radius a little bit more. Rocket punch maximum impact damage increased from 50 to 75, and max wall slam damage increased from 30 to 40. It's cool, but it's not what they need for Doomfist. Um, I think his shotgun, like his left click, needs a little bit more love than his fist. So they missed the mark on Doomfist, to be honest. Rampage. Speaking of, wound damage over time increased from 60 to 90. I like that. Although Junker Queen is really a lot more prominent right now, her and Ramacha, I've seen so much of them, um, ever since Malga has kind of dropped off a little bit. Um, yeah. Sometimes like you overshoot the rampage, and you just can't secure anything. So ideally, you should be like throwing your knife to cause some wounds. Um, Use your axe, and then you can do a rampage to get your maximum amount of bleeds, to just try to get more kills. But sometimes they you overshoot, and yeah. Reinhardt, that's cool. Rocket hammer damage increase from 85 to 100. Um, Big hammer should hurt. Definitely in agreement with that. Um, yeah, I'm okay with that. Wall impact damage increase from 225 to 275. I think that definitely has to readjust that to counteract the health increases a lot. So 275. So if we could go back up to a lot of the DPS health pools. So you're gonna crush Ash, Bastion, Cassidy, Echo, Genji. The only ones you're not crushing is Mei, Reaper, and that's it. It's Mei and Reaper. A little more tanky characters. You're crushing pretty much any other hero. Oh, yeah. Tesla cannon from Winston. Damage increase from 60 to 75 per second. I'm fine with that. Primal Rage, punch damage increase from 40 to 50. Um, to be honest, like the his punch damage, it does hurt. Don't get me wrong. Most of the time, most people don't really think about the damage of Primal Rage. They more focus on the displacement for it. You try to like punch either someone out of an alt area, like if a Zen's popping Transcendence, or you want to punch somebody into like a Blizzard, or you try to punch them into your team to displace them and kill them. So, yeah, I can take it or leave it. Particle cannon. Primary fire beam with increase from 1.5 or 0.15 to 2 meter or 0.2 meters. Her laser dick is bigger, or say it's more girthier. I'm fine with that. I mean, I love playing Zarya. She's amazing and fun to play with. If you know how to play her right, she can be a lot of fun. So season 9 leaks damage roll. Reload speed bonus on elimination has been removed. Hanzo players rejoice. New roll passive. Dealing damage reduces healing. Blocked on stream. Okay. So that's interesting. So it seems like if you ever played WoW, like Mortal Wounds. So basically, if you deal damage to someone, it's going to reduce the healing. I guess that's a good way to kind of like lower the amount of healing output. I don't know how long it's going to last, because if it lasts more than 5 seconds, it's gonna reduce the healing, like the passive healing from from your new passive, the healing over time. So we'll see how that goes. Bob, weapon damage increased from 14 to 17. I still don't think he's gonna be like, he's a decent alt. I don't think he's like that amazing, but he helps. Like just like with most alts, if you can secure a kill or two, it definitely works. We have Deadeye. Initial damage rate increase from 130 to 150, and damage rate increased from 160 to 300. So they're making it easier to secure kills with Deadeye, which honestly most of the time right now it's more of a zoning alt. If you can get a kill, cool. I know when I play Cassidy, if I see a Mercy or a Pharmacy kind of in the air, I try to at least get the Mercy, or the Pharaoh, either one. But most of the time it's just a zoning out. Echo Focusing Beam with increase from 0.2 to 0.25. Helps her secure the kills with the beam a little bit easier. Duplicate maximum combined health, including health, armor, shields, increase from 300 to 350. Fine. Like, it kind of sucks because it's a cool alt, but sometimes I think it can be too annoying. But we'll see. Dragon Blade. Swing recovery decreased from 0.9 to 0.7. So you swing a little faster with your ults, which is pretty cool. It's technically a damage increase, but if your targets are not near each other very well, it's not going to make much of a difference. Hanzo Storm Arrows decreased, or damage increased from 65 to 75. Cooldown reduced from 10 to 8 seconds. Okay. So you're going to be able to just destroy someone really fast. Or a little bit faster with Hanzo. That's good. As long as they don't bring back Scatter Arrow. Yeah. Farah. This one was interesting. So we'll go over this a little bit slowly. So Rocket Launcher. Self-damage percentage decreased from 50 to 25%. I don't hit myself very often. The only time I do is like when I do my initial rocket jump. I shoot down to the ground while also hitting the rocket jump, so you get the extra boost. Um, Otherwise, I usually don't hit myself with the rockets. Um, I guess you can do it on like rooftops and stuff too to get that little extra bounce, which helps that. Recovery reduced from 0.85 to 8, so she shoots a little faster. That's not too bad. Projectile speed increased from 35 to 40. Okay, so it makes her a little bit more effective, being more in the air. Because generally, when you want to secure your kills as Pharah, you're gonna like drop down a little bit more to try to hit your targets easier. So yeah, Jet Dash was a new ability. It's set to secondary fire, so that's gonna be your right click. Yeah, because right now your default secondary fire or your right click, depending on if you're playing console or PC, it's just set to kind of just do the same thing as spacebar does, to kind of just make you hover a little bit more. Option set to jet dash to double jump. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. I'm trying to think which one I'd prefer. I think I prefer the double jump because it's already set for some characters, like Hanzo for example, to kind of make you leap forward. Yeah, probably would do the double jump. Horizontal dash in the direction you're moving. So, yeah, as I explained, it's like Hanzo. You're just gonna go boop. With a 10-second cooldown, which isn't too bad. I think it's about on par for what Hanzo is as well. Jump jet's 20% weaker, so you're not gonna be popped up in the air as much. Cooldown increased from 10 to 14 seconds, but gives you 50% of your fuel back. Okay. That's interesting. I'm curious on how well we're gonna like. I gotta sit and try to like learn a little bit more with Pharah on the going, trying to stay in the air a little bit more now. So we'll see. Concussive blast, 25% weaker horizontal knockback, so you're not gonna knock anyone as far back. Range decrease from 8 to 5 meters, so it's gonna be harder to knock somebody back. Cooldown decrease from 9 to 7 seconds, so you can knock them back a little bit more. Does 30 explosion damage, which is interesting. And then her ult now instantly reloads rocket launcher. So you're gonna pop, 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 pop. Oh, pop, 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 pop. Okay. Okay. So yeah, here's the meat. Here's the potatoes to our meat. So fuel decreased by 20% for her hovering. Speed boost increased by 100%. So she's not gonna be able to. She's gonna have less fuel, but she boosts. So she goes up faster. Now it gives you better aerial maneuverability. No longer refuels in the air. Only will refuel on ground. Okay, so that's why your rocket jump gives you 50% fuel back. Okay. Fuel can increase by 200% capacity if filled from the ground. I guess because that's the only other way to do it is with the. Okay, whatever. Can be used without fuel to slow your descent. Okay. Kind of makes it a little bit more like how it is now, when you slowly go down. We have Symmetra, primary fire beam with increase by 0.15 to 0.25. Again, back onto the other thing where if projectiles go faster, it does hers too. Doesn't really quite say that, but we'll see. Support role. The passive now reduces the delay before regeneration begins by half, 0.25 seconds. So supports are going to have 20 health per second after 2.5 seconds instead of everyone else's is at 5. Brig, you got the rocket flail, which is her whip shot. Damage increased from 35 to 45. Okay. So, let's see here. We have Kiriko, her kunai. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Move this down here. Okay, yeah, that makes this is much easier. Sorry, I had to fix something in OBS. Kunai base projectile size reduced from 0.18 to 0.15. So it's harder for her to hit those shots a little bit. Then we got Lucio Soundwave. Damage increased from 25 to 35. Wow, I can't believe my brain shut off there for a second. So yeah. Okay, so his right click or his secondary fire does a little bit more damage. Knocks back a little bit better, so you can boop easier. Movement lockout duration increased from 0.3 to 0.45. Okay. For now, we have no clue if these changes are legitimate. Yeah, so it's hard to say. So, like I said, it's. I'm a little bit torn on whether this is going to be something. Like, some of this seems like a bit far out. The Farah rework, kind of. I mean, we'll put rework. Seems a bit like far-fetched. And it's surprising that like a lot of other content creators have not really talked about it. And you got Samito, he's not under an NDA. I think Flash covered it a little bit too. I don't think he's under an NDA, but unless Blizzard kind of wanted to throw a red herring out of, say, like, oh, hey, you can talk about this a little bit, and kind of like off-put people, like, oh, I don't think this is real, but really, everyone else knows it is. So we'll have to see. It's supposed to be like this game-changing, like it's making Overwatch 3. It's annoying, but with the Farah changes, I'm a bit weird because she definitely does need that boost, but at the same time, they're making like Soldier his left clicks are easier to hit people, so it's like if you lock Farah right after, or if you put Farah, and then you're like, oh, there's a Soldier here. Well, Soldier's gonna destroy the Farah. Honestly, she shoots faster, and she got that little boost to kind of like, try to skip some rockets or something. Like, it's still gonna be easier to hit her with left click. Even with my potato aim, I can maybe even hit Farah's too. But we'll see. Like I said, we're definitely in the gold gang. I've hit plat like once in that. We'll call that. We'll call the rank inflation. So we'll see how that goes. But thank you everyone for sticking around and watching the video. Please let me know what you guys think about the Season 9 changes. Make sure to subscribe and check out the next videos. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.